We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. I love it because today is the peak of the Lyrids meteor shower. This is a pretty spectacular show. If you get lucky, you might catch a shooting star. Regardless, we're in and receiving these energies. During this time, we receive a huge influx of light codes and energies from the star system, Lyra. A lot of you guys that are light workers, healers, empaths, and even twin flames may have had past lifetimes or connections with Lyra, as this is where our original blueprint or template comes from. We're receiving a huge influx of energies and soul upgrades that can help us with our ascension during this time. We're also going to see the energies come back up over the next couple of days. They've been quite high the past couple of weeks too, so we're receiving a lot of new energies and a lot of light codes and integrating them during this time. We're going to go ahead and start with a reading for the divine feminine just to see what is going on, what is coming up for you. Remember, this is just a general reading, so only take what resonates for your situation. This is why I encourage you to do the one-on-one phone call sessions with me on my site. You can do those anytime you need them. I am an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. If you need me, you always book me on there. I have a lot of stuff for twin flames to help you through your process, but also to help you through your ascension process during this time too. So I have all sorts of healings for your spiritual awakening. Check them out, but let's go ahead and start with the reading for the divine feminine to see what is going on. Divine Feminine Collective, Divine Masculine, if you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. I keep track of you from afar by looking you up online. Like, you might be checking out your Divine Masculine on the internet. Sometimes you guys might be. You might be friends on social. Even if you're not, you might be checking out their posts or seeing what they're doing. This is really probably more common than you think with twin flames, especially. This isn't for everyone, but some of you guys may be navigating spaces of separation. You might feel this too on the masculine side. You might feel your feminine's energy around you. It just kind of depends. I'm working on myself so I can give you the love and relationship you deserve. Twin flame is about holding that frequency and about aligning with union through first aligning with inner union. And this is huge for the divine feminine. Many of you guys are being guided to work on your frequency and your inner alignment during this time. Now, everyone's soul journey is different. And so what is coming up in any lifetime, in this lifetime for you to heal, might look different than the next person. I think it's all about clearing your karmic baggage, healing distortion, getting rid of old programming, and making that ascension or that jump from the 3D to the 5D. Your twin flame is here to help you to do just that. If they've been triggering you, pushing your buttons, or even you've had to go through spaces of separation, it is always meant to serve you on your soul's journey and to help you in some type of way. This could trigger healing to the surface though, if you have, I say, a bunch of healing left to do. It just kind of depends. And sometimes they show you what to be working on, and this could be through things they've said to you, shown you, played out in this situation. Now we have a really big focus right now for the divine feminine of letting go of old timelines and old stories. So if you find that you're going into the past and bringing up past stuff, can indicate needing to maybe heal in these spaces a little bit more, or to release and let go of these things. There's a lot of clearing work that is happening within these energies and kind of peeling back, refining, and letting go of and releasing energies coming up for the divine feminine during this time. This could be clearing old timelines and things like that within yourself, and this could be things you need to close out, things you need to resolve. This could be old wounds coming up, old traumas, old triggers, things you think you healed and you haven't quite because they keep on coming up within yourself, things you need to let go of more fully from your past. This helps to release, and I call these portholes of energy that might still be open so that they're not coming into wherever you're at now and wherever you're headed within your timelines. These are amazing energies right now where if you're staying intentional and manifesting, today's a huge manifestation portal. I always love it. Like, it's raining down a lot of Lyran energies on us. It's helping us to activate And these energies are amazing for a manifestation porthole too. So you can really, really shift your timelines or head into new narratives depending on what's going on within your mind and what you're putting out there. But this is a powerful space for whatever intentions that you're putting out there into the universe. The energies are here to help you in whatever direction you're headed with things too. So powerful energies that we can be tapping into and using. I couldn't handle your words when you were upset with me. It was painful. And we talked about sometimes twin flame can be a triggering process. And some of you guys are learning to kind of take care with your words. And it just kind of depends in what way. So there might have been things that were said or things that were said to you. It just kind of depends. Okay, we have playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Some of you guys are doing some major inner child healing within your awakening and within your ascension. And this could be also helping you to heal relationship wounds and to upgrade your love blueprint. We have a huge focus on our love blueprint during this time and what's been playing out or what we need to heal within that blueprint so that we can activate it and upgrade it and shift into, we'll say, better narratives with our love life and things like that too. So inner child healing can help us because oftentimes until we've done that healing, we tend to attract partners out of wounding. But this is a twin flame reading, so maybe you've brought your twin flame in, but if you have a lot of stuff from your inner child, it can get in the way. This can come up as triggers, wounds, things that bother you, upsets, or it could even come up as how things are going in a karmic sense or how things will play out with your twin flame. It just kind of depends. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And this is the deepest connection that you can get spiritually. We navigate a lot of different connections. So we have a lot of focus right now, I said, within these energies, and we're going to, through the next couple of months, on clearing karma. This could be situations, connections, things in our field, things that we need to heal more fully. It just kind of depends on how that has manifest for you across this lifetime. It could be limitations, limiting beliefs, blocks, fear, and rising above the negative programming so that we can ascend fully into a 5D state of consciousness, 5D reality. And it just kind of depends on, like I said, the work that you're doing. We have a lot of things coming to the surface during this time, and this could be other connections in your life, especially if they're in the way or interfering with union or coming up. And then I always say, this isn't for everyone because a lot of you guys are actually in union, but if you're in separation, to pay attention to what surfaces in those spaces, because sometimes we have to walk our path alone and sometimes we will walk it side by side with our twin flame. And they could be different spaces across many lifetimes of how that translates into our everyday lives and reality. Now, I always say to pay attention to what comes up. If you find you're in a space by yourself, I feel you're in the cocoon. like you'll notice twin flames tend to go in these spaces by themselves, these healing spaces. And the reason why is because there might be more work to do. You might be preparing, but this is so we can go very deep into layers of ourself. When we sit with ourselves, which we oftentimes might find that we're in that space, if we've done a lot of like karmic clearing work and healing work, you might find that, you've stripped away a lot of factors in your life and you might be spending more time alone. But these are the spaces that we go within, we connect with source or the universe, and we can come out enlightened. But a lot of people don't like that. This is why we see a lot of people kind of staying busy, survival mode and things like that, because when we sit with ourselves, this is where the shadows can come up, whether it's fear, worry, doubt, limiting beliefs, and all the inner work comes up. I call that space inner work, where we have to sit with ourselves and we have to face ourselves. We have no more distractions. There's no one left to blame, project on, point the fingers. It's just you. And so you have to sit with yourself. And then this is oftentimes where we do our deepest work, but this is where the transformation and the inner transformation is meant to happen within our spiritual awakening. And it just kind of depends on, what phase and process you're in. But when you're in separation, this is like not only that cocoon phase, and sometimes I notice twin flames going into that space solo, and that there's very much a reason for that. So you guys can focus on yourselves, your own side, and your own healing. But this is the transformation, enlightenment energies that could come out of it. And a lot of people talk about like the negatives of the healing. Actually, you're clearing everything that's been blocking you, everything that's been holding you back. all the limiting thoughts, fear, you start to rise higher. And this is what Twin Flames came here to do, is to really step into this 5D union template and to do the work required to maintain it in harmony and like in a good way. And so oftentimes it's all about purging out everything negative within your system. And this is the same work that we do for ascension and awakening. And this is not an overnight process. It's continuing to clear energies that are blocking us, misaligned, negative things from our system. And we're going to notice as so many ascension energies are flooding the planet that we're having negative energies come up, shadows, blocks, traumas, old memories, everything from your entire life on earth, basically. And whatever that looks like for you that you're processing, working through, and healing. So this is where the spiritual and the soul work comes in too. Your twin flame is actually here to help you sometimes accelerate your ascension or speed up the process by acting as a mirror. I can call that a divine mirror, as like holding up a divine mirror to you so that you can see things. You guys actually share a lot of things, like thoughts that you're exchanging, energies, and you begin to actually, when you're together, orbs, you begin to merge your energy system into one, your actual chakra system into one. And this is why you can't bring all the baggage with you, because if you have like blocked up energy, chakras, and things like that, when you're trying to bring it together, it kind of causes problems. So this is why oftentimes twin flames go through this cleansing, purification process to release the blockages and things like that, and then rising higher in a state of higher frequency, but also in divinity. This is your divine match. They're always a mirror to you. And so, you know, we've been through a lot of work in this lifetime through our connections, our romantic connections, as these people are meant to mirror us. Some of these things we love, some of them might represent shadow aspects or things we need to even heal, face within ourselves, acknowledge, and work on. And oftentimes we have a lot of repressed trauma aspects. We have a lot of programming, shadow aspects, and things that are holding us back. And so your connection, especially your twin flame connection, is meant to help you to do that inner work, but it's all about inner alignment, balance, and harmony. So you're going to notice generally when you fall out of alignment with yourself, you usually fall out of frequency and alignment with this person. But when you're feeling good and when you're in your highest alignment or in your higher frequency, they're usually around a lot more, you're going to notice. And this is because of the magnetism of the connection. And so sometimes we have this push-pull with this person, and this is just because, like, when you are, you know, out of alignment with yourself or in these lower frequencies or lower states, which can be normal. We're humans and we're talking about cleansing and purging a lot of lower energies fast, as we're going to see over the next 2 years, specifically heading into 2027 on planet Earth. So as we're going through this intense process within our ascension, you know, we're going through these different vibrational states. And when we're out of alignment, we're not only repelling and pushing away, this is the chaser energy, our twin flame, but also our manifestations and other things. And when we are aligned and we're lit up and feeling great and we're in our higher frequency and alignment, we tend to be very, very magnetic for our twin flame, but also for our manifestations and other things that we're trying to align or attract into our life. And so different phases that we go through within the journey, I always encourage you to trust that this is your life lessons for a reason. Your soul and you, I say your soul is putting this on for you, but you have actually signed up to have certain experiences knowing that you needed them to become the highest or best version of yourself. Now, during this phase of the awakening and ascension, we're also integrating a lot of higher frequency energies into the physical body. This is where it gets a little bit physical. As we talk about, you might be kind of feeling it in different areas of the body. So divine feminine, star connection, guidance from the stars, galactic self, and unified field. So a lot of you guys are in fact star seeds and are integrating that into the physical reality. And this could be the ascension upgrades. These energies are amazing for doing like DNA activation work, connecting with your star seed origins, or connecting with the galactics for more guidance. And so a lot of you guys, I was explaining to someone that my mission didn't come online until, you know, a little bit later in my life. And I was explaining that to someone, and I said, well, most of the time before that, I was learning about Earth, right? And so it depends, you know, your mission will activate and come online in divine timing if it's, you know, part of your life plan, or that's what you're here to do too. But we see a lot of starseed missions coming online, and the reason why is because, you know, this is something also that is part of your twin flame journey, that you came here to be of service and to help the planet together in some type of way. And this could look like one of you on a mission and the other kind of anchoring and grounding the energy, or it could look like both of you together, you know, doing things. It just kind of depends. Ships of light beam up your vibration and opening up to star family. And so there's a reason why also that sometimes this stuff doesn't begin to activate, is because sometimes we spend a lot of time playing out our karma while we're asleep. So once you go through a spiritual awakening, you become a little bit more mindful of the dramas of the 3D, how karma works, cycles of your life, patterns, right? We're here to clear karmic patterns and imprints and things like that. Now, I really like this because a lot of you guys hold, I was talking about galactic trauma and things that you're clearing out, even with your twin flame and things like that. But as you're clearing this stuff and raising up your frequency, this is where you begin to better connect with the spiritual realms and the spiritual dimensions. And so you open up your gifts. And this could be, maybe some of you guys are having galactic experiences. This could be in your dreams. This could even be with your twin flame, right? It could be in your dreams. You could be getting taught in the astral. This could be psychic and spiritual downloads or energetic downloads, like, you know, understanding coming to you. And this goes both ways. Like, some of you guys are here learning and the galactics are learning through you. But some of you guys might be having, you know, experiences and more spiritual experience. It could be like seeing orbs, like the one that was flying around. It could be seeing ships and things like that and opening up more. So as you do begin to open up your frequency to that of the 5D, you begin to open up to more experiences. And this is why, you know, it's a very powerful experience twin flames go through, each on their own side, same connection. And a lot of times you guys are getting a lot when you do the work and you clear all that trauma and gunk, I call it gunk, and blocks. You begin to really open up your spiritual gift. I remember I was getting so much wisdom and knowledge, like I already had a lot of it anyways, but I mean on this stuff. So you can open up to like a lot of wisdom and knowledge and spiritual knowing and things like that, whether about the connection, about yourself, or whatever it is. Opening the heart. Right to love and be loved, heart healing. And these energies tend to activate the higher heart chakra so they can highlight blocked energies or blocked connections. Sometimes twin flames can feel it in the heart chakra as painful energies. This could indicate blocks or blocked connection, because when it's really open, you're going to feel pretty good about it. And this is about loving your twin flame no matter what stage you're at. So in union, yeah. Separation, yes, in these states too, but oftentimes painful energies can come up, and sometimes if we go through a separation, which I feel is divinely, I know people won't like this, but divinely orchestrated for whatever we need, because then all the negative energy comes up and you're going to notice how much you needed to heal in those states. And so it really will highlight different wounds that may come up. It just depends on what those are. These energies are amazing for healing and opening up the heart chakra. That's one of the best things that we can do to open up our own heart chakra more, but also to open up that connection with source and that spiritual connection, or that shared energy connection that we have with our twin flame, because negative energies and painful energies block up those, I want to say cords, but we'll say connection, but cords that we share with our twin flame, especially the more merged that you are, you might have gone through. So twin flames merge also on the spiritual and energetic level. So you might be more connected the closer you got with them. It just kind of depends though, energetically, on what's going on too. This is why I always encourage you guys to do the healings on my website. They'll help you if you like need to shift your situation or your energy or what's going on. And then of course my focus is the energy. Storm, it's okay to feel it all. Cleanse, collapse of the old, and realignment. And so this is important, and you could have things that played out so many years ago that you keep going back to. And this is part of healing. Sometimes you're being shown things at a higher state so you can better understand them and process them at new levels of enlightenment or where you're at. And this is releasing things. And I talk a lot about my own process with you guys, right? Sometimes it can look messy with the healing, but sometimes, you know, you could have to go back into old stuff and things like that, and like things kind of come full circle, and you know, stuff like that you're healing. It just kind of depends on what your healing looks like for you. And so this is like closing out old stuff and old timelines that, like I said, they might pop up. You might be revisiting them. You might have wounds in certain places and you could be great and things trigger them. Twin flame, the holidays. No, I'm kidding. Right? like a lot of deep wounds run deep. Like I was reminding myself of that, especially like inner child ones or past connection ones. You could be fine and you could have things coming up because this is the ascension and it's going to continue to trigger a lot of energies so that we can purge them out and continue to cleanse, and all about becoming that highest version of yourself. And as you are, many of you guys are aligning with your galactic higher self or even your angelic higher self, and you're going to bring more and more of that light and that frequency into the physical body. So a lot of this is us upgrading our physical body so that we can hold more of this light and more of this energy, becoming more light too. Okay, so we have 8 of Swords, and this is my favorite because this is like sometimes the deepest work is done on the mental level. And this is our own thoughts. And like I said, you have to sit with yourself and your own thoughts. So you know best what's going through your head all that. And so sometimes we have to shift out of a lot of limiting beliefs, fears, self-sabotage, negative thinking patterns that comes up. I've never seen anything like it, but with the ascension, it can trigger things to the surface, or with twin flame. And this could be negative beliefs about yourself, your twin flame, or your connection, or even life in general. And so when you begin to really, really dive deep into your psyche, because a lot of times the people in our life represent a reflection of our own psyche and repressed aspects that we need to heal and integrate better. So anyone who comes into our life is probably, you know, showing us things about ourselves, whether we like that or not, especially our twin flame, because yes, this is supposed to be a romantic connection. This is supposed to be your person across all lifetimes, time and space, okay? Even if you haven't made it there yet, you will. So sometimes we have to go through this cleansing process. You might have a lot coming up with the mind, but I find that is very important in these higher energies because we're manifesting faster and faster and building momentum. And you could think about something and it's having such an impact. So doing that inner work to release negative thoughts and beliefs that might be being triggered to the surface and stuff like that. But this is going to help you because if you've been in a state of fear or anxiety, it's going to give you more clarity. Sometimes twin flame separation can trigger anxiety. Sometimes some of you guys have we could say fear-based or anxiety kind of go-to when it comes to your attachment style or trauma or things you haven't healed from childhood. This could just be fear anyways, where you're like, like right at times on earth, right? Not funny. Okay. But yes, sometimes as humans, right, we think we're fine, but certain things can be triggered to the surface, and we could have fear-based beliefs that are blocking us manifesting our love life, whatever it is, the lens through what we see things, our perspective, and things that are coming up to be healed. But as you are diving in deep, and I call it uncovering and releasing this stuff and healing it, you get clarity. You become less judgy and self-critical, more loving, more compassionate, and more open. And so sometimes twin flames, like I was talking about, how it can be very, very same coin, different sides, like polarity and duality in different ways to help you out of polarity and duality in whatever way that might look like as it's presenting to you in your situation. So you might be doing a little bit, I call this shadow work, but it's just so much more than that goes into releasing 3D based fear programming so that you can ascend into the 5D. Okay, so this is my 10 of Cups. Now, this is my favorite card for twin flames and reunion and union, but it's backwards, so flip. So there's some type of block here, and there might be some type of distance or separation. But usually this comes down to, once again, like family stuff. And when we talk family stuff, our karma, right? As many lifetimes of it rolled into one. Some of the work that we done, this could be, like I said, I've done a lot of talking about heart chakra, inner child wounds, healing root chakra stuff is coming up, or healing family kind of stuff, or old wounds that came back from there. You have many ancient agreements, connections, cords, and bonds that you're working through in this lifetime. So part of being a starseed or an empath or a twin flame, many of you guys might notice that when a karmic connection, not with your twin flame, but when a karmic connection or contract has run its course, the person goes, okay? Doesn't, and yes, I'm talking about this, could be your friends and family. Okay, the connection goes, like these people might not want anything to do with you. They might not want to come near you, even if you're calling them like, you're like, what? That's my family. Like, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So one thing that happens out of awakening is sometimes we become a little bit more mindful of the karmic connections. These could be previous connections with lovers, friends, it could be acquaintances, it could be family members, and all sorts of ways that they can present in our reality. And so some of you guys might notice as the karma is clearing on planet Earth, but within your own life, as you're doing that work, you're breaking a lot of karmic cords, attachments, and bonds that have already played out and served their purpose, and healing from it. And this could be healing deeper family things and stuff like that. So we're beginning to kind of get a higher view of the connections in our life. So you might have some type of karmic connections that are leaving or have left, but this could have left karmic wounds where some of you guys are re-experiencing like abandonment and heartbreak with your twin flame because it actually went deeper and you had it happen with a karmic partner, or you could go a little deeper and it happened with a family member's not giving you the love that you needed in some type of way. And it might be a repeating pattern coming from some type of family karmic wounds. And so sometimes we have deep wounds, and sometimes these are negative beliefs about ourselves, others, how we feel about ourselves, or things we need to kind of uncover and go deeper into. And so twin flame can trigger very old karmic wounds. Some of these, like we're talking about, could come from family, but they also can go deeper into past lifetimes of however it went with your twin flame. Okay, Queen of Cups. This is like stepping into, and I like the Queen of Cups energy. It is love. It is stepping into that kindness and compassion, being supportive, unconditional love, but it's your feminine energy, and it's becoming more intuitive, more empathic, and more balanced. And this is all about us staying balanced, out of balance, expecting your twin flame to balance you, insecure attachment, and looking to your twin flame to make you feel better. And then we're learning a lot about emotional and self-regulation and our energy and things like that. So oftentimes when we do that work of in separation spaces or even slow coming into union, is so we can break out of deep attachments on the energy level. This is why energy clearing is like your best friend for this. But as we do that, we really become a higher version of ourselves. We open up our psychic gifts, we become more empathic, we become more understanding and more compassion. This is all compassionate. This is all about becoming that lover that you want and becoming that partner, so that that mirror reflection is reflecting the inner work that you have done. So our twin flame will reflect the work that we have done in a good way, but sometimes they also can reflect the work that we need to do, right? Okay, let's see. We're going to do a reading for the Divine Masculine now. And like I said, I have a lot of activations up for today. I just post them on my pages. So if you guys need anything, it's a great time to check out my site. You can always do anything on my site anyways, all of the time. Just doing a quick reading. Okay, Divine Masculine side. So Divine Feminine, if you're watching, direct messages from your masculine. Our love was too intense for me to handle. I needed to break away. Twin flames might even, and I always throw in, it's not just the twin flame dynamic, it is the ascension dynamic. You're going through a lot of upgrades. I was explaining it can be hard for people to handle just going to their job and the ascension upgrades and the ascension anyway. And some of the changes that we're going through, which are very spiritual, energetic, and even, you know, mental, right? Not like that, psychic will say. And so we're going through a lot of upgrades, which can get overwhelming energetically. And some of you guys are needing a minute to, like, we call this integration. So for the Divine Masculine, many of you guys are being guided to take space solo by yourself, to get out into nature so that you're more balanced and that you're also working on your own beliefs, you know, and how when we're busy with other people, we're focused on the other person. So sometimes this does require spaces of needing to be by yourself with our thoughts, whether this is so that we can channel and tune into messages coming through, or even just clearing energy, or even integrating a lot of ascension upgrades that we're going through very, very fast. So things are getting physical. So when we take time to get out in nature, this helps us to ground the energy and anchor it into, we'll say, the physical. I want to contact our mutual friends to ask about you. Some of you guys, this isn't for everyone, but you share a friend circle or you're closer than you think. And this could be like, a lot of times I see in separation, a lot of your friends will mention your twin flame or ask about them or bring it up. And it's like a message coming through. You brought out the best in me. I came alive in your presence. So your twin flame will mirror your best aspects too, whether this is your spiritual gifts. A lot of twin flames have obviously spiritual gifts, but you have shared gifts together. When you guys come together and you start to work together with these gifts, whether this is, and we have a big message for those in union about co-creation and what you're creating together. And the reason why a lot of people don't love relationships, I shouldn't say that, is because you have to transcend the ego and actually come into this shared space with another person. And this is a soul space with your twin flame. So it's like coming together to co-create. And it's no longer about ego desires, right? It's about this shared connection. But when you do, and you begin to work together with your guests, you're going to notice you guys work together amazing. This could be on anything. It could just be a reality you're creating together in the 5D. It could be business ideas. It could be mission, shared purpose, whatever it is, helping the planet, being of service. And this is where amazing things start to happen. This is true power couple that are actually here to be of service and to help the planet. I feel that's why a lot of times people struggle with the process, because they haven't gotten on that level within themselves to be able to integrate some of the twin flame energies, because twin flame energies are powerful that you can be channeling. Doesn't matter if you're not with your person or you're in union, you always have access to that powerful twin flame energy. Once you've activated it and you've met this person, you begin an activation process. For those in separation, if you are, or slow working to union, remember it's like a little seed that your twin flame has planted within you and activated, and it can take time to grow, right? So say you met your person and you think it's there's always that little seed. Trust me, it is coming to life. Like a little, I picture the flower of life, right? And things like that. You guys have begun a powerful activation process. It doesn't stop ever, trust me. Okay, this is a past life relationship. You have known each other before. So the difference between karmic and twin flame, obviously everything's spiritual, but karmics they're your comfort zone. They represent the 3D. They try to keep you in your old habits. They're bad for you. They have everything you're trying to overcome. Like, right? Like if you have addiction problems, they're, hey, you know what I mean? They represent everything that you need to let go of in your life, but you're very comfortable there in your little 3D box. The twin flame is going to shake you up at the core to help you with your ascension, either into the 5D, or you're already in the 5D and they've come in, but the work continues. Even in union, there's a lot of powerful spiritual work that will rise up or need to be, worked through, cleared, or whatever it is. And so this person is a spiritual connection. That's why the difference is that this is a energetic connection that you're going to feel. You're going to have a deep knowing. You're going to want this person. Okay, so this is opening up to new love. This person has stirred your romantic feelings. This could be for you guys that are in union, excited about the new energies coming into the planet, like excited about that spring vibe and all of that, and the growth and all of that. So you're going through a deep healing in a good way. This could be bringing some new energy into your life. If things have felt a little stagnant, clearing any blocks or stagnant energy, maybe getting some excitement about anything back in your life. But if you're in separation, this is like getting ready to reconcile. Separation is all about preparing and healing within yourself so that you can get in your highest alignment. And that's all what everything is about on the planet during this time, your ascension and aligning your energy to your highest frequency. Okay, so ether and matter, spiritualized matter, new life, and this is sparkles and bedding in the light. So we have a lot of light codes coming into the planet. These are like little instructional manuals to help turn on your DNA. They are creation codes to help us actually anchor and create the 5D here on Earth. In order to manifest a 5D reality, we have to let go of the 3D, like old beliefs, negative ways of seeing things, ego, path. And then I feel it's a little bit about setting aside the ego, which we know kind of spins us around in circles anyway, and surrendering to divine will. This is what the universe wants with your life. It's what the divine wants your life to look like. And so we all have it in our head what we want our life to look like. And usually, hopefully, it doesn't go that way, right? Because we can surrender and we can allow the divine to use us in the way that we were intended, in a bigger way. It's like, I know, your ego wants to keep you in the 3D box, and it's like, you know, the universe trying to take you into these higher realms and allowing it to. So we go through a lot of ego death on the twin flame path. This is part of the journey, it's part of the transformation, and it's about kind of uncovering who we really are. Expression, authentic expression, words and power, truth, connecting with your throat chakra. For the divine masculine, you can connect with Archangel Michael, cutting cords. We're letting go of a lot of past life contracts, vows, attachments, and things that have kept you stuck or obligated. This could be family programming and obligations, society, living life a certain way. It could be actual contracts and relationships and things like that that have played out for you. Really, really healing your throat chakra. This is finding your voice, but also your inner voice and listening to your inner voice. And I always remind people, because I do try to empower people, that the divine masculine gets their guidance of what to do. Like, right? They get their guidance as to what to do too, and should be listening to it. And so it's all about aligning with your higher self and allowing yourself to really follow your inner voice and your inner compass. I think compass heart, but inner voice throat. So connecting with your throat chakra. The last cloak, release old identities, magnificence realized. So this is letting go. We talked about old timelines, old identities, and that's exactly what it is on these timelines, that we're letting go of old versions of ourselves. I put a post up yesterday about cutting the cords with old versions of ourselves, which is, I think, is important. And letting go of it, because sometimes we have these ego narratives, versions of ourselves, and they're usually connected to fear of like going back to the 3D, or, you know, ways we were living out of alignment because we were sleepwalking through life and asleep in the 3D. The energies are coming into the planet, we're awakening, and we're becoming ourselves and our 5D selves. So in order to do that, and this is crown chakra work, this is letting go of your past, but also old versions of yourself. So sometimes this is every time you're actually doing the work to clear up your energy field of letting go of karmic attachments, connections, people, situations, things that aren't good for us. And it's a lot of right now letting go of old habits, patterns, thinking patterns. Every time you clean up your life in some type of way, purification, you're actually collapsing out old version of you, and then the rebirth comes in. So this could be like negative habit, like addiction or pattern, or, you know, fear-based things that you're doing, and, you know, making better, healthier choices and shifting out of it. And you're becoming higher and higher version of yourself as you are, and letting go of lower versions of yourself that are no longer serving you, so you can rise up higher within yourself and who you are. You're having to let go of your past. We talked about a huge clearing process. This is why energy clearing work is a must, taking care of your energy. The ways, attune to nature's signs and find your way, follow your heart. So we talked about the masculine is beginning to, well, if you weren't already, to awaken and connect with nature so that you can soak up those good vibes and connect. But this might be like your sanctuary and, you know, the frequency that you need to really, really help. When we get ungrounded, it can like make our mind kind of crazy. When we connect with nature, it helps us to integrate these energies a lot better. Make sure you're grounding and connecting with nature. This helps you to clear fear, but also heal your root chakra patterns, behaviors, and things like that. Okay, we have the Hermit in reverse. Some of you guys have withdrawn a little too much and you're not coming out. like this could be like, you know it's better for your energy. You've been kind of really going within those realms of yourself and finding the spiritual, because we have to go within. Like, we need to, like, you know, meditate, connect with source, go within and explore our inner world. That's what spirituality and awakening is about. But this is like, maybe some of you guys have been a little too in that state. You might be feeling a little lonely going through that, especially. This is like my separation card, but a lot of you guys aren't in separation. But some of you, if you're in separation, needed to kind of, you know, bring this together. But some of you guys, if you're in union, you know, maybe you've been kind of needing time on your own. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, and this is like, there is a block here. Usually Knight of Cups is coming in real strong, but when there's a block here, this is like something going on in your love life. And this could be Maybe you feel like things are not where you want them to be or needing healing. I see that during this time. That's why I have such an interest in helping people to heal their love life. I have twin flame coaching where I take you through your attachment. I take you in to heal certain things from your previous, we'll say, inner child traumas. I do a session on that. I do a session on relationships. I take you into certain areas to help you to heal your attachment style and to shift into a more secure connection, or even energetically, whatever comes up. You guys know that I'm a medium, and I connect with the other side to help channel guidance and advice for you to help you to heal you. Oh, and I'm also an energy worker, so I can help you on the energy level too. And so maybe just needing to heal something in your love life, and this could be things being triggered. Some of you guys end up in karmic cycle with your twin flame, or I call it the anxious avoidance cycle, if that's something coming up for you, or whatever might be playing out in your love life, in your current connection, because this is a twin flame reading, maybe needing some type of healing here. And when we deal with that cup energy, it's your love life, but maybe some type of heart chakra healing, or even maybe some type of healing with your actual situation. 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and this is like, all right, some of you guys need to put the work in. This is like, maybe you're not feeling confident in your energy or feeling great. A lot of times masculine kind of goes away till they're feeling better, and if they get in that ascension kind of funk and you're not feeling great or not handling the energies, maybe some of you guys are really, really wanting your freedom and having fears of being tied down, or commitment fears, or this is like not really putting in the manifesting work. And so sometimes we don't know how. We're like, welcome to the 5D, it's all new. But maybe needing to like really put in, because when I think of the Pentacles, yes, it's money, but it's also our little seeds that we're planting, and we reap what we sow, and what we're putting out there. And we have to kind of put our intentions out there and make things happen, or put the effort in, or put the work in to make things happen. And so there is a block here. Like maybe it's like you haven't fully done all of the work needed, or maybe you are manifesting and you haven't got the results that you want, or you might feel this is a stuck card because it's in reverse, so it's kind of blocked. So you might feel there's some type of block here or stuck energy. And this is my solar plexus card, so it's something that might go back to repressed emotions, inner child, or previous connections that might be needing to clear there. So some type of block with the solar plexus that might be making you feel not great or not enough, or whatever coming up, affecting your confidence levels. Okay, so solar plexus healing for divine masculine. I'm gonna go on that note. Have a beautiful day. Gonna be around doing Lyran activations all day. If you need me, go ahead and book me on my website. If you need a twin flame reading, great place to start. And you can kind of flip through my shop. If it's up there, like I said, you can always do anything up there anyways. If you need me, just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com, and have a beautiful day.